Hello, my friends, and welcome back to The Healthy Way. I am Dr. Stefan. Today we are going to talk about something that sounds simple at first, and then becomes surprisingly powerful once you understand it. Mushrooms, not the random mystery ones you see outside after a rainy day. I mean the well-studied edible and medicinal mushrooms that people have used for centuries and that modern science is still trying to fully explain. A lot of people feel confused about mushrooms because they are not exactly plants and they are not exactly animals either. They live in their own lane. Fungi are closer to us than most people realize. Plants make energy from sunlight. Fungi do not. Fungi breathe in oxygen and release carbon dioxide much like we do. They also build many of their internal structures using biochemical pathways that feel familiar to human biology. That does not mean a mushroom is a mini-human. It means nature reused some of the same building ideas. Now here is the part that blows my mind every time I think about it. The mushroom you see above ground is often just the fruit. The real organism is the underground network called mycelium. It spreads through soil and wood like living threads, connecting trees, breaking down old material, and recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. In a healthy forest, fungi are part of the reason plants can access minerals and water more efficiently. They are the quiet workforce of nature. They help clean up, they help rebuild, and they help balance. So why does that matter for your health? Because many of the compounds fungi create to protect themselves and survive in harsh environments also interact with our immune system, our nervous system, and our metabolism. That is the big idea for today. We are going to make it practical and easy. I will focus on 4 mushrooms that come up again and again in the research and in real-world use: reishi, lion's mane, shiitake, and turkey tail. And I want you to listen with a specific goal, not to collect trivia, but to learn how each one fits a different health conversation: stress and sleep, focus and memory, heart and gut health, immune support. And yes, we will also talk carefully and responsibly about the area that makes people the most emotional: cancer support, because there is a lot of hype online and you deserve clarity. Before we start, please remember this. Natural does not mean harmless. Mushrooms are biologically active. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, have autoimmune conditions, take blood thinners. Take immunosuppressive medication, or you are in active treatment for any serious illness. You should speak with your clinician before adding concentrated mushroom supplements. Food amounts are one thing, extracts are another. If you are new here, subscribe so you do not miss future episodes. And as we go, tell me in the comments what you want most right now: better sleep, better focus, better digestion, or stronger immunity. Share this video with someone who keeps hearing about mushroom coffee and wants to understand what is real and what is just marketing. Now, let us get into the first mushroom and start with the one that many people use when life feels too loud. Let us start with reishi. You might also hear it called lingi. It has a long history and traditional practices, and in modern terms, it is often described as a mushroom that supports stress resilience. I want to be precise with my words. Reishi is not a drug replacement. It is not a sedative that knocks you out. It is not a magic cure, but it may help your body respond to stress in a smoother way, especially when you are in that cycle where your mind is tired, but your nervous system still feels on high alert. Think about what stress does. Stress is not just a feeling. It is a physiological state. Your brain perceives threat or overload. Your stress hormones rise. Your heart rate can increase, your digestion can slow down, and your sleep can get lighter and more fragmented. Over time, chronic stress can shape inflammation, cravings, mood stability, and even immune function. Many people live like this for years and then wonder why they feel depleted. Reishi contains compounds that researchers study for immune modulation and inflammation balance, including certain triterpenes and polysaccharides. Immune modulation is a key phrase. It means supporting immune function in a way that aims for balance rather than simply pushing it harder. That matters because a healthy immune system is not always a stronger immune system. It is a smarter immune system. When you are under chronic stress, the immune system can become dysregulated. Some parts overreact, other parts underperform. Reishi is one of the mushrooms studied for how it may influence that balance. Now, let us bring this down to your daily life. People often take reishi in the evening because they feel it helps them unwind. Some describe fewer racing thoughts. Some describe a deeper sense of calm. Some notice that they fall asleep more easily, or that they wake up fewer times at night. Not everyone feels it. And when people do feel it, it can be subtle. This is not an instant dramatic effect like caffeine or strong medication. It is more like your body slowly remembering how to downshift. If you are someone who drinks coffee all day, scrolls late at night, and then expects your brain to shut off like a light switch, reishi will not fix that by itself. It works best when you pair it with better sleep habits. Dim the lights at night. Keep the room cool. Put your phone away earlier. Eat your last heavy meal a few hours before bed. When you make those changes, reishi may feel like the extra support that makes the routine easier to maintain. Safety matters here. Reishi can interact with certain medications, especially blood thinners, because some mushroom compounds may influence clotting. It can also affect immune activity. If you have an autoimmune condition or you take immunosuppressants, you need professional guidance. And if you have liver issues, you should be careful with concentrated extracts from any supplement source. The simplest way to approach reishi is as a gentle ally for calm. Not a promise, not a miracle, an ally. And if your goal is better sleep and better stress tolerance, reishi is often the first mushroom people explore. In the next part, we shift from calm to clarity. Because the next mushroom has become famous for brain support and for the way it may influence nerve health. Shiitake is the mushroom that feels familiar to many people because you see it in soups, stir-fries, and many Asian dishes. And I love that because it reminds us of something important. Food is the original form of medicine in the sense that your daily choices build your biology. Shiitake is not just a supplement trend. It is a real food with real nutrition, and it also contains bioactive compounds that researchers have studied for immune and cardiovascular support. Let us start with what shiitake offers as a food. It provides fiber, certain B vitamins, minerals like selenium and copper, and it contains polysaccharides that your gut microbes can interact with. Your gut microbiome is not just about digestion. It communicates with your immune system, your brain, and your metabolism. A large portion of immune activity is coordinated through the gut. That is why I care so much about what you feed your gut bacteria. Shiitake contains compounds like beta-glucans. Beta-glucans are a type of fiber-like structure that can influence immune signaling. When you eat beta-glucans, you are not giving the immune system a weapon. You are giving it information. Certain immune cells recognize these compounds and respond in ways that can support immune readiness. This is one reason mushrooms show up in research on immune function. Now, let us talk heart health. Shiitake has been studied for its relationship to cholesterol metabolism. There is a compound called aritatonine that has been researched for possible effects on cholesterol levels. The research is not a free pass to eat anything and then fix it with mushrooms. But it supports the idea that shiitake can be part of a heart-healthy dietary pattern. Fiber, better cholesterol balance, healthier blood vessel function, and a less inflamed gut all play into cardiovascular health. Blood pressure is a big topic. Blood pressure responds to salt intake, potassium intake, sleep, stress, movement, and the health of the blood vessel lining. Shiitake alone will not lower blood pressure in a dramatic way. But as part of a nutrient-rich diet, especially one that supports gut health and reduces inflammation, it can contribute to the bigger picture. Sometimes health improvements happen because many small supports work together. Now, a practical question I get is this: is it better to eat shiitake or take an extract? If you are generally healthy and you want broad wellness, eating shiitake regularly is a beautiful choice. Food amounts come with other nutrients, and the body tends to handle them well. Extracts may be useful when someone is targeting immune support during stressful periods, but again, quality matters. Many extracts differ dramatically in potency. There is one safety note with shiitake that people do not always know. Some people can get a skin reaction called shiitake dermatitis, especially from raw or undercooked shiitake. It is uncommon, but it happens. Proper cooking reduces that risk. Also, if you are on medications that affect immune function, you should be cautious with high-dose extracts. So here is how I frame shiitake. It is the everyday mushroom that supports the environment inside you. Got microbes, immune signaling, and the heart and vessels that keep you alive every day. It is not flashy, but it is foundational. Next, we go to the most debated mushroom of this episode, turkey tail. This is where the internet becomes loud, and this is where we need calm, evidence-based clarity. Now let us talk about lion's mane. It is easy to remember because it literally looks like a soft white cascade, like a mane. This mushroom has become popular in wellness circles because people connect it with focus, memory, and what I call mental sharpness, without the jittery feeling that some people get from too much caffeine. Here is the honest truth. We do not have a perfect pill for focus. Real cognitive performance is built on sleep quality, blood sugar stability, hydration, movement, light exposure in the morning, and meaningful challenge for the brain. But it is also true that certain foods and compounds can support the biology underneath those habits. Lion's mane is studied for compounds called heracenones and arenachins. These are being researched for their relationship to nerve growth processes. When you hear someone talk about nerve growth factors, do not imagine your brain turning into a superhero overnight. Think of it as support for the maintenance system. Your nervous system constantly repairs, adapts, and rewires. This is called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is how you learn. It is how you recover. It is how you build new habits. The hippocampus, a region involved in memory and learning, is especially sensitive to stress and sleep deprivation. Anything that supports healthier nervous system function is worth exploring. As long as we stay grounded and honest about what we know and what we do not know. In human research, lion's mane has been studied for mild cognitive impairment and for mood-related outcomes like stress and anxiety symptoms. Results are mixed and depend on dose, extract quality, and duration. But many people report a practical experience that is easy to describe. They feel more mentally organized. They feel less fog. They feel like they can hold attention longer. Some even say they feel more motivated to start tasks they normally avoid. There is an important point here. If your problem is not a lack of brain power, but instead chronic distraction, high stress, and sleep debt, then any supplement will feel weak. Your brain is not failing. It is overloaded. Lion's mane can be part of the support plan, but it cannot replace the foundation. If you want to use lion's mane in a sensible way, focus on consistency. Many people notice benefits after weeks, not hours. And be careful with product quality. Some products include mostly grain filler or mycelium grown on grain with very little active fruiting body content. You want a reputable brand that tests for purity and active compounds. Also make sure the product is free from heavy metals, because mushrooms can accumulate metals from their growing environment. Now safety. Most people tolerate lion's mane well. But a small number of people experience digestive discomfort, skin reactions, or headaches. If you have mushroom allergies, this may not be for you. If you take medications or have complex health conditions, talk to your clinician before using concentrated extracts. I also want to mention mood. Many people separate brain and mood as if they are different worlds. They are connected. When inflammation is high, when blood sugar swings are intense, when stress is chronic, mood often suffers. Lion's mane is sometimes reported to support a steadier emotional state. Again, not as a cure, as a support. So if reishi is about helping the nervous system downshift, lion's mane is about supporting clarity, focus, and healthy nerve maintenance. Next, we move to a mushroom that more people already eat in meals, and it is one of the most underrated for heart health, gut health, and immune support. Let us talk about shiitake. Turkey tail is one of the most researched medicinal mushrooms, and it has a distinctive look that resembles the layered pattern of a turkey's tail. This mushroom is popular because it is studied for immune support, especially in the context of serious illness. And this is where I want to slow down and choose my words carefully. Because people hear immune support and cancer in the same sentence and their hope rises, which is human and understandable. But your health decisions deserve honesty. Turkey tail contains polysaccharides that have been studied extensively, including compounds often referred to as PSK and PSP in the scientific literature. In some countries, specific extracts from turkey tail have been used as adjunct support alongside conventional cancer treatments under medical supervision. Adjunct means alongside, not instead of. This is a critical distinction. The goal in those settings is to support immune function and overall resilience during treatment. Not to replace chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, targeted therapy, or immunotherapy. So what does immune support really mean here? Your immune system is a complex network of cells and signals. Some immune cells identify abnormal cells. Some coordinate inflammation. Some remember threats. Compounds like beta-glucans can interact with immune receptors and influence how immune cells respond. That is why mushrooms are studied for immune modulation. Again, modulation means helping the immune system function more appropriately, not simply forcing it to be aggressive. Now let us address the myth zone. You will hear people say turkey tail kills cancer. That is too strong, too simplistic, and it can be dangerous if it makes someone delay or refuse proven treatment. What we can say responsibly is that turkey tail extracts have been studied for their potential to support immune parameters and quality of life in some cancer care contexts. And there is ongoing research exploring how these compounds interact with immune pathways. That is meaningful. But it is not the same as a cure. If someone you love is facing cancer, the best approach is to bring the conversation into the medical team. Ask the oncologist if a standardized turkey tail extract is appropriate. Ask about interactions. Ask about timing. Ask about immune effects in the context of their specific cancer type and treatment plan. For some people, it may be appropriate. For others, it may not. Now, outside of cancer care, turkey tail is also used for gut health and inflammation balance. The gut immune system responds to the microbes in your intestines, and certain mushroom fibers can act like prebiotics. That means they can feed beneficial microbes and support a healthier gut environment. Many people underestimate how much immune strength is actually gut strength. If your gut barrier is inflamed and irritated, your immune system may stay in a constant low-level alert state. Supporting gut health can help the immune system work with more precision. Safety matters. Turkey tail supplements vary widely in quality. Some are contaminated, some are weak. If you choose to use it, choose a reputable product with testing. Also, if you have autoimmune disease, be cautious. If you are on immunosuppressive medications, be cautious. If you are undergoing active cancer treatment, do not self-prescribe. Bring it to your care team. So here is my grounded view. Turkey tail is a promising immune-focused mushroom with significant research interest. It may be useful as part of an integrated plan, especially under medical supervision in serious illness contexts. It is not a standalone solution. It is not a miracle. It is one tool in a bigger toolbox. In the next part, I want to connect all 4 mushrooms into a simple mental map, so you can stop feeling overwhelmed and start making smarter choices based on your specific goals. Now that you know the 4 mushrooms, let us connect them in a way that makes decision-making easier. Because most confusion comes from trying to remember too many details. You do not need a biology degree to use these wisely. You need a clear purpose. If your main problem is that you feel tense, wired, overwhelmed, and your sleep is light or broken, reishi is the one that most people associate with calming support, not sedation, support. The kind of support that pairs well with better nighttime routines. If you are constantly stressed, your nervous system does not get the signal that it is safe to rest. Reishi may help some people deliver that signal more consistently. If your main problem is that you feel foggy, scattered, unfocused, and you want mental clarity without leaning harder on caffeine, lion's mane is the one associated with cognition and nerve support. It is often used for focus, memory, and that feeling of mental clean energy. But it still needs the foundation. If you sleep poorly and your blood sugar swings, your brain will struggle. Lion's mane is not a bandage for chaos. It is support for a brain that is being cared for. If your main problem is that you want a food-based approach that supports your gut, your heart, and your immune system in a daily way, shiitake is a strong choice. It is an everyday mushroom. It belongs in meals. It brings nutrients and fibers that support the microbiome. And it has compounds linked to immune signaling and metabolic health. And if your main focus is immune support and you are specifically interested in the deeper research space, turkey tail is often the one people explore. But it requires maturity in how you think about it. It is not about chasing a miracle. It is about supporting immune balance and gut health, and in special medical contexts, potentially supporting resilience when coordinated with a clinician. Now there is another layer here that matters. The form you use changes the effect. Eating mushrooms in food is generally gentler. Extracts are more concentrated and can be more biologically active. That means they can also create more side effects or interactions. I want you to respect that. A cup of shiitake soup is not the same as a high-potency extract capsule taken twice a day. Food is usually safer for most people. Supplements should be used with more intention and more responsibility. Also remember that mushrooms are not one thing. A product can contain fruiting body, mycelium, or a mix. It can be water extracted, alcohol extracted, or dual extracted. This matters because different compounds dissolve differently. Beta-glucans are often associated with water extracts, while certain triterpenes may be more present in alcohol extracts. If you do not want to think about any of that, you can still make a smart move by choosing a reputable brand that explains its extraction method and provides lab testing. Let us talk about who should slow down before using these. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, do not experiment with concentrated extracts unless your clinician approves. If you are on blood thinners, be cautious, especially with reishi. If you have autoimmune disease, do not assume immune support is always good. If you are on immunosuppressive medications, do not add immune-active supplements casually. And if you are in active cancer treatment, coordinate everything with your oncology team. Now the next part is about what people really want. They want to know how to actually use this in real life without turning their kitchen into a supplement store. So let us talk about practical integration and realistic expectations. Let us make this real, because information is only useful when it changes your daily decisions. If you are curious about these mushrooms, the goal is not to do everything at once. The goal is to match the mushroom to your current need and then pay attention to how your body responds over time. Start with food whenever you can. If you can include shiitake in meals a few times a week, that is a very grounded step. It supports nutrition, gut health, and immune balance in a way that does not feel extreme. Cook it well. Combine it with protein, colorful vegetables, and healthy fats. When you build a stable plate, you support stable energy and stable mood, and that improves everything else you do. If you are exploring lion's mane, ask yourself why. If your mornings feel foggy, if you have trouble staying focused, or you feel mentally slower than you want to be, lion's mane may be a useful experiment. But do not test it on a week where you sleep for hours and live on sugar and stress. Give it a fair test. Improve your sleep routine, hydrate, and eat a balanced breakfast. Then observe. Some people notice subtle changes in how they concentrate. Some notice changes in mood. Some notice nothing. That is normal. Biology is personal. If you are exploring reishi, think of it as part of your evening ritual. Many people use it as a warm drink or an extract at night. Pair it with reduced screen time, dimmer light, and a consistent bedtime. The combination is what makes it powerful. Your nervous system learns by repetition. Calm is a skill. Reishi can be part of practicing that skill. If you are exploring turkey tail, especially as an extract, respect the seriousness of immune modulation. If you are generally healthy and you want gut and immune support, you can still approach it carefully. Pay attention to digestion. Pay attention to skin reactions. Pay attention to how you feel. And if you have any medical condition that involves the immune system, or you take medications that influence immunity, talk to your clinician first. If you or a loved one is dealing with cancer, do not self-treat. There is a safe and responsible way to integrate supportive supplements, and it happens inside the care plan, not outside of it. Now, expectations. Mushrooms are not stimulants, and they are not instant cures. The best way to think about them is that they can nudge the body. They can support processes, but they do not replace the basics. Sleep, movement, hydration, protein intake, fiber intake, sunlight, stress management, and social connections still do the heavy lifting. Also, avoid getting trapped by marketing language. Mushroom coffee is popular. Sometimes it is helpful. Sometimes it is just coffee with a tiny amount of mushroom powder that does not do much. Read labels. Look for standardized extracts and clear dosing information if you choose supplements. Avoid products that hide behind vague blends, and please remember that more is not better. If something helps, that does not mean doubling it will help more. Your body has limits. Respect them. In the final part, I will tie everything together into a simple decision framework you can remember. And I will leave you with a calm action step you can start this week. And of course, I will tell you what I want you to share in the comments so we can make the next episode even more targeted for you. Let us bring this home. 4 mushrooms. 4 different conversations. 1 simple mission. Use nature wisely, use science honestly, and use your own awareness to stay grounded. Reishi fits the conversation of stress, resilience, and sleep support. It is for the person whose nervous system feels like it never turns off. It is for the person who wants to downshift at night and build a calmer baseline. Lion's mane fits the conversation of cognition, focus, memory, clarity, and healthy nerve support. It is for the person who wants to feel more mentally present and organized. Shiitake fits the conversation of daily nutrition, gut health, immune readiness, and cardiovascular support as part of a real food approach. Turkey tail fits the conversation of immune modulation and deeper research interest, including its role as a studied adjunct in some medical contexts, with the clear understanding that it is support, not replacement, and that serious conditions require clinical guidance. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Match the tool to the goal. Do not chase every trend. Choose one direction. Calm clarity, daily foundation, or immune support. Then build the basics around it. Because the best supplement plan in the world fails when your lifestyle is draining you faster than you can recover. Here is your action step for this week. Pick 1 mushroom and 1 habit that supports its purpose. If you choose reishi, choose a consistent bedtime routine. If you choose lion's mane, choose a morning routine that protects your focus, including a real breakfast and less phone scrolling. If you choose shiitake, choose 2 meals this week where you cook a balanced plate and include mushrooms. If you choose turkey tail, choose to talk with a professional if you have medical complexity. And if you are healthy, choose to prioritize gut health through better fiber intake and less processed food. Now, I want to hear from you. In the comments, tell me what your main goal is right now. Better sleep, better focus, better digestion, or stronger immunity. Also tell me if you want a future episode about how to spot high-quality mushroom supplements. Because product quality is one of the biggest reasons people get disappointed. If this video helped you understand mushrooms in a clear and responsible way, Subscribe to The Healthy Way so you do not miss the next episodes. Share this video with a friend who keeps hearing about medicinal mushrooms but does not know where to start. And comment with your questions, because your questions shape what we cover next. I am Dr. Stefan. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of your body, respect your mind, and keep walking the path of health one smart choice at a time.